Wow, a plaque on an F-14A Tomcat. That's cool. Man, wouldn't it be something if we could see one of those? Hi, everybody. I finally got down to Atlanta, and I thought I'd show you some of the things I have down here. I am at adjacent to Dobbins Air Force Base and the Lockheed plant down here, where they manufacture airplanes. And this is a small little outdoor museum that they have some of the aircraft, and I'm going to get some closer pictures of some of them. I'm just doing a round here to show you. This is Veterans Day. I thought it was appropriate to come out here today and do a little aircraft tribute to the Air Force veterans. I have a real good friend of mine who I just went to the Veterans Service here in Smyrna with. She was in the Army, and I went to support her, and it was a really nice program. But I thought I'd show you some stuff here. If anybody saw Top Gun, then you recognize this plane right here. That's the F-14 Tomcat. And this thing is big. Amazingly big for a fighter plane. You think a fighter should be small and nimble, and this one is big and nimble. But this is a start cart here for it. These things didn't usually have self-starters. You had to use one of these carts here. This may be something else. I don't know. This may be another fire suppression or something like that. But they use start carts on most of these things now. But there you go. Just some pictures of this. Try to get a little bit of everything. Tomcat did have a gun. I believe that's the barrel where it came out right there. A lot of the modern fighters don't have guns, or didn't have guns. I think they've gone back to deciding that guns are worthwhile now. But I like that. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Hopefully I'm getting some decent video of this. Alright, the next one over here is my personal favorite. The A4A Skyhawk. This is a plane that the pilots always said you didn't so much fly it as you wore it. It's tiny compared to the plane that we just looked at. Here's a little bit of the signage on it. Hopefully this will give you an idea of the specifications and things like that on the aircraft. I'm not big on the numbers. I just love the way this thing looks. If I had been lucky enough to be in the Air Force when these planes were being flown, this is the one that I would have requested if I'd had a chance, because this thing is a hot rod. Now, it's not supersonic. A lot of times these things were used as attack fighter, bomber attack fighters now. I think that's what they finally did. But you see the arrestor hook so that it could land be on the put it on a ship, or they used arresting gear on some of the runways as well, in case they couldn't stop, or they need to stop in a very short runway. That's a cool little plane right there. One of my favorites. Okay. What was the name of that movie? Flight of the Intruder or something like that. Here's the A6E with a typical bomb load on it. It's really funny. This aircraft had had a pilot and a co-pilot in it, or a pilot and a weapons officer. I'm not sure how they designated them. This thing could carry more bombs than a B-17 from World War II. It's really cool. Here's the specs on it. But pretty interesting plane. This became the bomber in Vietnam that they sent on so many of the missions. Some of the other planes were really more fighters. This was never a fighter. It's a dedicated attack aircraft. Alrighty. Here's some of the dedication plaques. Alrighty. A7E Corsair 2. This is an amazing airplane. I think it was used in several branches of service, but it was also used, and it was used in all three roles. It was used as a fighter and a fighter bomber. And it's got a little bomb load under there. They call this the last gunfighter because it was the last plane for a long time that was in the Air Force inventory that had a gun. all the rest of them, they were relying on missiles. And I believe the gun came right out there. But these things look kind of, they don't look like anything else that was ever in the inventory. They just have a different look, the way the pilot sat so far forward with a little short little nose on it like that, and the big intake underneath. But these things, they say, could really fly. Some of the versions, I think the Navy version, this wing actually would tip up here in the front and allow it to fly slower so that it could land on an aircraft carrier. It has an arrestor hook under there as well. All right, look at something else here. Alrighty, now this one I didn't know what it was. I'm going to have to go read the sign here. Oh, it's a Viking. I think this was an anti-sub aircraft. Let's see what it says here. Oh yeah, anti-sub. It's pretty cool. I'm not sure this was here last time I was here. But it looks pretty cool. Don't know much about this aircraft. But look at the wings fold all up so they could store it down below decks. There's a start cart right there. That's exactly what that is. Electrical generator so it can turn the starter over. That other must have been fire suppression. Okay, well let me get us over here to something else. Here you go. It's the front of a Huey helicopter. Laid up over my head there. And you've seen a lot of these. This is a main workhorse in Vietnam and after. And this one they ask you to stay out of. I know when I was here with my grandkids, they let them climb inside of it. But I thought I'd give you a view, the pilot's view. That's what he saw when he was looking out. Okay, and that's where you'd put all the crew. They'd have benches in here for, troops to fly when they flew them in and out. Pretty cool stuff. The UH-1C Iroquois. Now here you go. I built one of these models as a kit. I always thought it was the coolest little thing. I believe it's called the Snark, if I remember right. I don't see a plaque on it. But this is a drone. This is what they really mean, what they used to mean by drone. This is a target drone that they would send out. It's jet powered. They would launch it or drop it. I think they drop it from another aircraft. And they would send it out, and they would send other fighters after it to train them to shoot down, use missiles to shoot it down, or guns, or whatever they were using it for. But that's what they sent up, which I thought was pretty cool. I always liked it. I built a model of it when I was a kid. All right, now it's not all military planes. These are another plane that was used, I believe, by the military some to ferry people around with. Let's just have something over here on a plaque about it. Let's see what it says. Oh, the Jetstar. Oh, okay, it was a business jet. No, my mistake. Oh, wow. Howard Hughes, Bob Hope, Mary Andretti, Elvis Presley all owned these. And Sean Connery, Eddie Murphy, John Wayne. That's pretty cool. Pretty neat. I love. You don't see that engine configuration very often, and I'm guessing these are fuel tanks here that built into the wings. That's pretty neat. Okay, according to this plaque here, it's an F-84 Thunderstreak. Pretty cool. Republic Aviation. I always liked that company. They made a bunch of really cool airplanes. That's the specs on it. See if we can, let me go back around the other side here on the sunny side, get a better look at it. I like that little skid underneath there so that if he came in at too high of an angle of attack, he had something to hit the ground rather than that soft aluminum skin there. Oh cool, look at these are dive brakes. Pop these things out when they need to slow down. Create a lot of drag. We could use those in combat. You could use them landing and all that stuff. It's really amazing. Aeronautics has come so far in the last century. It's so amazing. Look at this thing. It's pretty cool. Swept wing fighter, one of the first that we had. Really, really cool. There you go. There's a view down the business end of the engine there. This is one of these lines of aircraft they made back then where the pilot kind of perched on top of the engine there rather than in front of it like most of the modern planes are. Alrighty, let's go over here and see what this is. Pretty cool aircraft. I think it's a Bronco. We'll go around here to the plaque here in a second and see what it looks like. I thought you might enjoy getting a picture of it. Pretty neat, huh? Turbojet, or turboprop, excuse me. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Look at these windows. This is cool. These windows. This is an observation plane. Look at this. See how they stick out from the fuselage? That's so that he can actually see straight down below him without having to bank the plane very much. Pretty cool stuff. I guess that's for sensors in the front of the aircraft. Some type of ordnance. I don't know what that is. Could be fuel or something like that. Oh, it's a Mohawk. Yeah, I missed it. Similar to a Bronco, but it's a Mohawk. Pretty cool. Alrighty. C-130. Yeah, these are used really you see them all the time. National Guard has these all over the United States. I don't want to go around the other side. There actually looks like they're doing some work on it. This is actually a gunship. Coming out the other side, they had howitzers and miniguns and things like that. I'd love to get a picture of it. Maybe I'll get out here again someday when they're not working on it. I just don't want to be in their way. Pretty cool. All right, and pretty much the last thing out here. It's a long way away, but it's pretty big, so hopefully it'll show up. I believe that's a, well, what is that? Is that a Galaxy? I don't think that is a Galaxy. Yeah, we may have to walk over there and take a look. Okay, here's this big old boy. And get around here, we'll find out what she is. Part of the Air Force aircraft, part of the military airlift program, I guess. This thing's enormous. Absolutely amazing. I wish the engines were still on it because they're just incredibly large too. Let me get around here to look in the back of it real quick. Show you one thing here real quick here. I don't know why this is here, but there's a little glider for you. You guys that like gliders. One of my subs, a Vietnam biker, posted something where he was flying in a glider. I don't know if he was flying in one similar to this, but how do you like this? It's a two-place for a passenger or instructor, I guess. Pretty cool. Let's go back around here and see. I think there's a black plaque at the back of the entryway for this aircraft. This thing is big. That T-tail is way the heck up there. Heck, that tail is about the size of an airplane. In fact, I think it's bigger than the small airplane I used to fly in. Just the tail is. Okay, we got the back open here. Look at this. I like that. Isn't that cool? Oh, it's a C-141B Starlifter. There you go. See if we got specs on this. Isn't that cool? See if I can get it dark enough up in here. You'll be able to see a little bit with the camera. I don't know if you can make it out, but they're little tiny seats all on the side that are folded up. You fold them down. I guess that's what troops and all would fly in when they flew in this thing, and I guess the cargo would be tied down in the middle. Pretty cool. Okay. Well, that's the aircraft they have out here. Just thought I'd give you a look at it. See if I can't find you some more sights somewhere. You guys take care. Bye-bye.